Got it. And I'm back. Are you able to see me when I go do that? Are you
Yes.
still seeing my video? Okay. Yeah, this is some of the first times I've used this with other people, like the whole combination of things. So thank you. Hi, Veronica. Thank you
Hi.
so much for being here. Uh, yeah, I really appreciate that you make the space and time and energy to come talk to me when when I ask that you're up for this, because we've done this kind of thing at least I'm thinking 5 or 6 times probably. And
Yeah, it
you
always flows, and I'm always up for a good conversation that can spark and give aha moments to other people. So it's awesome to have
yeah,
conscious conversations and let other people in on it.
right. It's just me following my excitement about this kind of format and how much I get out of it and how much, yeah, I can hope that others do. And that's part of my reason to move it to these other platforms more, is to just help get it out there more, whatever comes through in the next bits of time together. So yeah, but just to introduce you more officially, so you're Veronica Winski with, I love how you've streamlined it all so smartly, the Dream Life Formula, right? Website, Instagram, Facebook, that's the name,
Oh,
right?
yeah. The dreamlike formula, yes.
Yeah. And really yeah, you just seem so clear on what you're representing and doing. And just that alone inspires me. Does
Oh,
that resonate? I mean, do you feel like you're in that place as it looks like of being as clear as ever and
I am.
as in your purpose and passion as ever?
You know what? I'm so happy that that's what it's recognized as.
Yeah.
Because really, behind the scenes, many times it's a very unclear mess,
Mm-hmm.
because my I'm always clear on my purpose, and I'm always clear that it's the women who are my peeps.
Ah,
And that's always been clear. There's never been unwavering knowing that it's that. However, stepping into creating a business around the purpose,
yes.
that's a whole another thing, especially with it. We both were in person business people.
Yeah.
So you have to have business sense and also at the same time do you and be in your purpose. And there is this like harmony that you need to find between being us and the divine channels of this
Mm,
energy and the knowledge and
yeah.
all of it, and also being in the space that we are in business and speaking and communicating in such way that it resonates with the people that we are meant to help. And
Yes.
and then once we shifted, and before I got onto the virtual platform, many times people would ask me, like, they wouldn't really know what I do. And
Mm-hmm.
explaining what I did. I'm like, I don't know. People show up, and any kind of problem they have, we fix it, because I worked with the subconscious mind and
Yeah.
reprogramming old patterns. Now I'm super clear on who I'm helping and what I'm doing. But
Uh,
that took me investing in myself. I hired
uh-huh.
coaches because
Yeah.
that which is sometimes so obvious to us because we've been in it for so long, we
Mm-hmm.
get like muddy vision and we don't see what's the answer that's right in
Yeah.
front of us. And
Mm-hmm.
now there's like a whole another layer. Like I may be clear, and then I'm told, because it's online, how you say things also matters.
Yeah.
And I used to speak a completely different way. I worked in a corporate job. I watched like the news, and I was very much so like very mainstream, and I spoke differently. And then once I left that world, through repetition, we reprogram ourselves without even realizing it. I started to read different things. I started to meet different people that spoke different. In the beginning, I'm like, bunch of weirdos. And now I am that weirdo. And that's how I speak. And sometimes I can't remember how I used to speak. But when we want to help the people that we are meant to help, them with. If we just speak how we always speak and we don't get clear in their language, then they may not understand us.
Yes, yes.
So it's always like, I don't think we ever arrive with like, as soon as you're clear, you realize that there is like always like another layer to clarity that you can step into.
Yes. And realizing that I love talking to you about this because, and that you're being so candid about your experience of creating like your dream life. Really, I hear it's like we're talking about, and then that's what you help us like get into doing, and how it involves these layers of like being willing to change is part of that, creating the dream life and starting to live it more. And also, yeah, that yeah, our awareness that it's going to have ever expanding layers of clarity, and it's not like we're going to just be there, that we can realize it's this journey and this process, and we can somehow even start to enjoy that, right?
Yeah, yes, we have to enjoy the process, you know. Also, coming from, being in a corporate world before, there was always like this corporate ladder. And then you arrive and you're
Uh-huh.
like, oh, striving for that goal to arrive on top, and then you arrive. But that's such BS. That
uh,
is a lie. There is no arrive. Like now, like being out of that world now for almost 12 years. In January, it's going to be 12 years since I left the corporate world. I realized that there is no arriving. Because when you think that you've arrived at the goal that you've set to yourself, you've grown so much, there's already like the next thing that shows.
uh, yes, I love that. And it makes so much sense that you're bringing in the mindset of what goes with actually, like, yeah, that this, because I've been in the place of feeling like I could let my dream life almost torture me, right? Because I think I'm going to have this sense of arrival and I don't feel that yet, right? And all these ways it's almost taking me from my now. But I love how you are helping us embrace it. It's like it is this quest, this journey, this process, and that it's never going to be done. And like the mindset of that is what's going to be part of letting it feel like a dream life along the way, right? Instead of just like waiting for this feeling. That's a big part of the mindset, is not to be waiting for something. And
Yes. And also, like again, there is no arriving, because most of the time when we arrive, we are not even aware that we've arrived,
yeah,
because we
right.
already went and we moved with something
Yeah,
different.
yeah,
It's
right.
also important to practice the art of awareness and where you're at, and go back. That's why it's important to have a vision, because then you can go back and see like, wow, I am living it. And then realize
Yes.
like, okay, that's how it was for me. Because in my big vision, I wanted to like live a location free life and live anywhere in the world and just be like, hey, love it, and just share my message. When I first
Which
started, it was
you've
not
been
a goal.
doing. It seems
And
like you've
now
been
I'm like,
doing.
oh my gosh, I'm in it.
Yeah.
But then if I was not practicing this art of awareness, I could have
Yeah.
very easily surpassed it, because now that vision is like, I'm like, okay, I'm in it. And again, I acknowledge that, because that's what I, practice this awareness all the time. But there's already something else that my next vision has already evolved.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, unless we're aware of like, okay, this, we write it down and then we can go back and be like, well, our mind's just going to surpass it and always tell us it's not good enough. Like, oh, it's going to be
Uh-huh.
better when we're over there and la, la, la.
Ah,
Shut up. We got to be just present and be like, wow, like you've arrived. You've arrived at today through all the energies, efforts, thoughts, actions that you've taken. So be like, all right.
ah. Yeah, right. And that
Every
that
day
is,
is an
that's part of
arrival.
getting us there. And that's, I love that you help us see that it's not just this like relationship we have with our dream life being this like thing that's abstract and separate from us, but it's, and that how much you help us see it's about how we're being in the moment so much with ourself and our practices, right? And our ways we're talking to ourselves and the ways we're thinking about things. And then even like our spirituality, I love that you bring in that aspect with yourself and
Yeah.
what you share with others. So uh
For me,
it's
that's why I actually create, so, we know each other for many years, and
yeah.
you've been at the Oasis, right? When I had the
Yes, I did
studio.
come over there towards the ends of it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I did a lot of groups, and I've
Yeah.
started with groups, always been groups for, for people, for women. And then when everything went online, I was working one-on-one. But I feel that now it's really time to go back to groups and sharing
Hmm.
messages one to many. And
Yeah.
it's all about really getting clear on what you would want to have in life, like on the desire, because
Yes.
desire is so expensive, but then getting it actually into motion with, like, that's where like goals come into play.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
see, like, what could I do now that would be in alignment with that? And it doesn't have
Yes.
to be anything extravagant. And I believe, because right now we are at such potent and interesting times as
Mm.
as a global community, that
Yeah.
we can use this intensity to our advantage. And if we get clear
Yeah.
on what we would want, and then just break ourselves out of the old habitual patterns of being, doing, and thinking just for a little bit. That's why it's like, just it doesn't take long. You can pivot and open yourself up to new possibilities faster than ever before.
Ooh, that's an exciting possibility. And I love that you say how we can like work with the fact that these might be intense times. Even I think you said like take advantage of that, which there's something along those lines, which felt
Yeah, exactly.
so empowered. I love that. And yeah, I mean, how can we get like I feel like I've had a hard time getting clear with my desire, because maybe I can see that I'm afraid to really to let myself dream, or yeah, different things that might keep me from being clear. And but I see how important it is to get this, to allow this clear vision for what you want, even if it's general, right? And so do you have any like I know that's a lot of what you help people do, but do you have anything that comes up to mind right now that you think really can help people or help us like get more clear with our desires and kind of bridge that gap? And then yeah, the importance of getting into some action
Yeah,
with those desires.
definitely. And I
Ah,
mean, again, I love it that this is such a confirmation that this is exactly what I was meant to create. And it's been, I'm
yeah.
comfortable stepping into it. I want, like, I've done so many times, and I was trying to think on it, and it's like, no, I had to step back and allow for the answers to show up. And that's exactly what I will be teaching, is how to get clear on that desire. And then exactly that. That's day one,
That's
is how
perfect.
to get clear. So one of the reasons that you cannot get super clear is because
Yep.
you're in your head, and
Yeah.
the same sentences, the same things are coming up over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So even though we may implement some of these tools, we're still going to be like running on that autopilot. So
Yeah.
to break that pattern, what you can do is forget about what the desire, like, just put it aside.
Mm.
Begin to remember the things that bring you joy.
Mm.
When did you feel good? And then write it down, like, because then you're anchoring, and that's all. Like, forget about figuring it out. There's nothing to figure out. Just let that go, because as soon as you're like, okay,
Mm.
I'm gonna try to figure it out, the energy goes,
Mm.
and the thoughts are
Yeah.
like,
Uh-huh. So true. So
no,
true. Oh my God.
put it, like, throw it away.
Yeah.
But then, again, this, like, now I'm like having these aha moments as to why I've been like guided to do this program, to be, because it's not, there's things that I'm going to teach, like share, like, oh, get clear, and then we're going to do it, and we're going to set
Yeah.
into action. There's tools, but the other bigger part of the program is going to be divinely guided, because
Ooh.
the subconscious, like the thoughts that are keep going and you're trying to figure out, and energetically you're like, it's, I, one of my things is I can get in and pull all of those out. So I've done that in a group setting before. Many times you've been there, but it was,
Mm-hmm.
now it's going to be in a group setting. And I'm
Okay.
sensing that because it's a group collective of women that are just inside of them. They know that there is something in
Yeah.
there, but it's just it's
Yeah.
like they forget that it doesn't have to be heavy. It can be light, it can be exciting, and
Yeah.
then letting go of the
Yeah.
harshness around, like I have to figure it out and it has to be this way. And I get it because I am in the same spot. Like I work with coaches and they tell me it has to be done this way. And I'm like, if I try to do it exactly how someone tells me do it,
Mm.
it doesn't work. It's about learning and taking and feeling your way through what works best for you.
Ah.
So with this, I will be going in and as a collective, energetically, when we create an
Uh-huh.
incubator, and then I
Wow.
do the clearings, you will be able then to tap in what's behind it.
Yeah. Oh, that's so exciting. And it makes sense. And I
Yes,
love, again, that that's part of what you bring is that you've also got this skill with energy work and that you're like an energy practitioner. And so that you're going to be
it's
doing this
time.
coaching and then bringing in the energy work to help clear the women so that they can be open to what they're actually divinely guided to do and allow through that vision and desire. It's exactly what I need to right now,
And
so that they can take action towards what they desire, right? And
yeah,
just
because it's one, it's
allowing
baby
that
steps,
clearing
you
of
know?
blocks that we
Yeah,
just could use the energetic help of someone else like you who's studied and learned and played with and practiced and tried different ways to do that, that you can do that. Yeah. So that's
and
exciting.
that's
And I love too that
like,
you work divinely guided. Like you mentioned, like
yes,
this is a program, all of your programs are things that have come through you like this, where
through
you're like,
me. And when
I
I get
must
in
create this.
my
The world
head,
needs it now. Ah,
when you get
it
in your
makes
head and you
sense.
try to figure it out, you
Yeah.
cannot. You just cannot because it's from the limited space that you can create from based on what you've
It
experienced.
makes so much sense, right? That we're not in our heart, we're not in our body, we're not in our spirit or soul, or
Yeah,
in
so
our head. It's such a
it's
limited
so
place. And I
yeah,
think what you pointed out is powerful too, that right now is this time where a lot of us are coming out of the pandemic and just various things going on for various reasons, wanting to start to make some decisions to move forward, to have that clarity, to know what we would desire, but also probably more than ever have some of those blocks, fears collectively and personally we've taken on. So that's where we have that angst more than ever, perhaps, right?
yeah,
Of like, I'm
yeah.
ready to do this thing, but I know I've got something kind of literally blocking me. And so,
Exactly.
wow, that's so exciting.
Yeah, I feel like it's time to bring forth, because over the last year I've done the classes, but the
Yeah.
classes they're just 1 hour and there's a lot to fit
Mm-hmm.
in there. So this time it's going to be a little bit longer because I really want to prove that you can create change so quickly, especially
Mm.
now because it's the universal law. Everything there is a good and as we view the bad, there is a plus, there is a minus, there is hot, there is cold, there is light, and there is dark.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
because there's such like negative intensity, there is somewhere exists the polar opposite of that.
Yes. Right. Ooh. And even like right now,
Like right
if
now.
it's true that there's this like negative intensity, that also means it's true that there's this ecstasy kind of high point that's possible.
Yes.
Ooh.
And that's why
Mm.
also women need to wake, everybody needs to wake up. But especially I feel the
Yeah.
women need to wake up. And we've
Mm-hmm.
programmed to be such like martyrs. Oh no, we have to take care of everybody else. If the world is falling apart, I have to see how I can like throw myself in the fire because they are suffering. I must suffer too. I cannot do anything for myself because I've been taking care of the kids and I cannot do anything for myself. No,
It's so right. It is so
stop
true.
it.
Like even the most liberal of us
It-
still operate like that and we don't even
Because it's
realize
a
it.
program
Yeah.
and it's unconscious and there's nothing wrong, the matter or wrong with it. But as a society, like we didn't even realize that that's what we're programming. Like the
Mm-hmm.
like in a household, usually like if it's a mom and dad, then the mom does the kitchen stuff, cleans the house and does this and also works and the dad does what he does and then it's just a program because for all those years that's what you're doing and then all of the sudden you want to think that you'll know what you want. You have no clue. How are you supposed to know?
Yeah. Yeah. Gosh. And I'm realizing probably what part of what your work is doing is clearing what we now know. Maybe if we've kind of taken on ancestral trauma, right? Or like collect in that sense too, of generations of women even who've
Yeah.
had this, and it's an energetic thing going on that could be the very thing blocking us from some of what we're talking about with just like connecting with your passion and purpose and moving forward. So I'm realizing with your work, that's part of what you're clearing probably, right? Is if we are like
Exactly.
holding this ancestral trauma and we don't even realize it, for instance, your kind of work helps us clear that. And it can be quick, is
Because
what's
it's
exciting too that you're
linear.
sharing.
Yeah, because if you think about it, I mean, it's linear. Like it comes from the great great grandmothers, and they raise
Uh,
their child based on what they know, and they programmed it into the subconscious. So those patterns stay with them throughout life. So then when this person has a child,
mm,
them this plus some of the new programs that they may be, but the core essence of the biggest trauma is passed down the line.
yes. Oh gosh. And you helped me see why a lot of us should do this too, is so that we don't keep passing it down.
Exactly.
Right.
It's for us. It's
uh,
for us, for our kids, for the grandkids,
yeah.
for all of that.
Yes.
And
For
but it starts
future
with
women and
awareness.
kids. Uh,
It starts with awareness. And someone asked me like, "Oh, there's so many coaches now, and that's so great, but it costs money." And I'm like, and I can't afford a lot of them. And I'm like, I get it. I was there too. You don't have to wait for someone to like come, and nobody's gonna come and save
yes.
you. You start where you're at. Get,
Uh-huh.
get curious. Like just get
Um,
curious. I mean, now there's an abundance of information. Like by anybody that's watching this, like clearly you got led to this, and even listening to stuff like this, it's going to help you open yourself up, and then find things to read, things to watch, things to listen to that are different, that interest you, that
mm,
light you up. And that's how you
mm,
begin to open yourself up to new possibilities, and you're breaking old
uh,
patterns.
ah,
And
uh-huh,
especially
uh-huh.
now, because
Yes.
it's so intense. So sometimes, like now, it's so much faster too, because it is so
Ooh.
intense. So you wake
Oh, that
up
is
on the
such a
audio and you're like,
cool.
oh, wow, like
Uh,
that woke me up, because so many people are waking up.
that's such an exciting thought that right now you're saying, because of like where we're at, like with our evolution and our consciousness and the energy, that things that can change and happen more quickly
Yeah.
because of that. Wow.
And it's
That's fun
not
to play
easy.
with.
I get it. It's not easy
Uh,
because there's so much suffering in the world, everywhere, and every single person. I know so many people that their close people died. Like there's so much death and
yeah.
suffering. How can I like still like be like happy and all? It's not easy. I didn't say it's easy. I said it's possible.
Mm,
The choice doesn't mean that it's an easy choice. Because if
yeah.
you on just the regular TV, well, either you're going to hear about vaccine, COVID, pandemic, shootings, murders, what else? Kidnappings, some other weird things happening.
Yeah.
But mainly vaccines and COVID. You turn on
Yeah.
the regular radio, same thing. Make a different choice. Just turn on some good news. Find it. If you're not sure, use Google. Type in good news.
Yeah.
Message Laura Jane. You can message me. I'll share things with you.
Yeah. Right. And
And
yeah, I
create me
think,
a list of 10 books that are going to jumpstart you. And even if you don't want to
uh,
read them, I bet you there's audio, there's clips. You can look up the authors. That can be a starting point.
yes. Well, and
So,
I love that you really help us remember how important it is what is happening in our mind and what we're feeding our mind with, and just our mindset. And yeah, and just that there, you always come from this very empowered place of like you do have this choice, but yet it is like your responsibility too. It's not
yeah.
just this like frivolous, and then it does come to like moment to moment awareness and consciousness and presence, and like the mindfulness kind of
Yeah.
practices even that you talk about.
The choice is not easy.
Right.
For me, one of the things I'm working on, you've probably seen me talk on Facebook about my running.
Yeah.
So I'm not doing it because I like running. I
Yeah.
hate running, actually. It's one
Yeah.
of my least favorite things to
Right.
do.
So that's so
But
fascinating. Tell us why
yeah,
you're doing something that you
but
hate.
exactly. Find something you enjoy. Here's why.
Yeah.
My desire is to reverse age and
Yes.
to have a healthy, vital body that I
Yeah.
can rely on until
Yeah.
the day that I die
Yeah.
of old age, but I can still do whatever I want, but it's my time.
100%. Yep.
So my inspired action now for the few, I know that if I
Ah.
don't move because of awareness, I know that my
Mhm.
body needs like movement and
Yeah.
not just kumbaya movement.
Yeah.
It needs its ass kicked a little bit.
Totally. Right. Yeah. And if you don't run, you stop being able to run. So it's one of
So
those things.
I never ran. Like I
Yeah.
said, I really do
Uh,
not like running.
yeah.
I love swimming.
Ah.
So when I arrived where I'm at right now, normally I swim, and there was red tide, so I could not swim because the
Yeah.
water was yucky.
Uh,
So the next closest thing, there is a little park that has a like a running loop.
yeah.
So I'm like, I could sense into my body. It's like we can run. There's gonna be a
Mm.
challenge. So I'm like, all
Ah.
right, I can
Yeah.
do it because it's right there. It's easy. I know I cannot talk myself out of it because I
Yeah.
started with one lap.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Did
And
I?
just
So I had to
knowing
make
that
a
that is
choice, and
mhm.
I'm like, okay, I'm doing this for my future self. I'm making baby steps. I'm making baby
Mm.
choices. When I get up and the sun it's like beginning to come out, I'm gonna just get up, just drink some water, put your clothes on, and leave out the door,
Ah.
and just do one lap. That's
Yeah.
all I could do in the beginning was one lap, 0.2 miles. I know, pretty
Mm.
pathetic. And the next day, I'm like, okay, go out there. Every day, I'm like, just go out. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to do one more. I'm going to
Yeah.
do one more. Now I run 20 laps, four
Uh,
miles,
oh
five
my
days
gosh.
a week.
Oh my
On
gosh.
my birthday next week, I'm going to be up to 100 miles since I started like what 4 weeks ago.
Ooh, I love
Just
how you're
climbed up to four
jumping.
miles. It
Yes.
took it took me a couple like it took me much longer to like it took me a while because I did one lap, one, two, two, then three, four, and at one point it starts to get your body gets used to it and
Uh-huh.
it's easier, but in my mind it's still the
Uh,
same.
yeah.
So I have to make myself it'll be
Yes.
much easier to just not
Uh-huh.
get up and do that.
Yeah. But
But
that's
you
so
have to
interesting
make
that you're
yourself.
modeling that's
I
part
had
of you're like developing this relationship with your future self and making a daily taking a daily action towards that
yeah,
and how that makes you feel with
and
yourself.
it's because I do what I do while I'm running, there's specific things that I repeat to myself over and
Uh-huh.
over again, and the things I become aware of.
Yeah.
But it's all like like it's
Uh-huh.
programming with awareness. Is it hard?
Ooh.
Am I like intense? No, I am running like a turtle, but I'm running, and it is for miles. Imitate. I'm not a runner still,
Ooh. I hear
but
what
I'm
you're
there.
saying. Yes. Yes.
I'm just
I love that face. Well, and yeah, that you're using it as a chance to just get better at coaching yourself through something and oh my gosh, what you said just conscious programming because what you're pointing out is otherwise we're unconsciously programming ourselves in that moment, being like, I can't do this. I really am weak.
Mhm.
I hate running. Life sucks, or
Yeah,
whatever we might be thinking.
yeah.
That's unconsciously programming. So
Uh,
it's like you're doing it anyways. So choose to consciously program. And then, yeah, you're using the running as a chance to
is it
consciously program yourself for
exactly?
success through
Yeah.
something that you don't like, but you think you want to do anyways. So,
What I know that if I do this every day, if I continue with this, and it depends. Right now, I'm doing the jogging, but because I move around a lot, the next
yeah,
place I go to may be
yeah,
something else.
totally. Yeah.
But that's also where the art of awareness and communication with your body to feel into your body what feels right
Mm,
and right with where you're at than in just moving into that. Like when I was
Yeah.
in Guatemala and I was swimming every day in the lake. There
Yeah.
were some people running. I'm like, I would bust my face because it's like
Yeah.
up to the mountains. I'm like, no, 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 no.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
can run on flat surface in a circle in Florida.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Oh, I love that too, that you are such a holistic practitioner that you really are always talking about mind and body and spirit and energy, right? Like you're just like,
It's a full
it's
package.
everything. And so let's address it
Yeah.
all. And that you're doing that with yourself as well. Like you're always walking your talk. Like
You have to, that's why, in a way, I mean, this has always been my purpose, and I've known it to how
Mm,
people create change in their life through how they think and feel and behave. But when after that period of time from leaving the corporate world to like reading all these different books and learning in a different way and then implementing and then seeing the results, I
yeah.
was so pissed off, actually. I was so angry. I'm like, are you kidding me? Nobody teaches this in school.
Yeah.
I studied behavioral psychology. Like,
Yeah.
I thought I was in school for that, and nobody teaches the truth.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I
it's
agree.
not complicated and it's not hard. It's like they are tough choices because they are uncomfortable. And if you choose your discomfort instead of fall victim to one,
Yeah.
then you create the life that you will love. And we
Mm,
all have, like, we are all unique. So how our lives look like should be unique. There should be like everybody's life should look not the same.
yeah. Right. Yeah. And that is really the a truth that would be cool for more of us to embrace and open
Yeah.
up to, even just that, as far as our desires, right? That it
Right.
may not look
Yeah.
like anyone else's life I've ever seen. And that would be actually so authentic.
Yeah.
So,
Just be the
uh,
unique you.
yeah, wow. And I do just I wanted to point out too that I think it's really such a great serendipity or blending of your life that you coming from the corporate world are now still helping us like find this harmony with the whole business aspect with some of what you're doing anyways. I know that you help people with business, and as you keep like yeah kind of exploring that for yourself, right? Just
Definitely.
this living from passion and purpose and creating a business within that, so that I think that's cool that you're still coaching, or still, in the business world, but helping us in this like evolved way that more of us are ready for. So
Yeah, it's
um
time. But I also think that now there is an amazing opportunity within the corporate world because we
yeah,
are all waking up.
yeah,
So, I
right,
mean, I think that it's time if someone is not happy in their job and in their career, you don't have to quit and,
yes,
start your own business. It's not easy. Being entrepreneur is not
uh-huh,
a thing of
yeah,
heart.
right, it
It
has to
is
be its
not
own
fun and
passion.
games.
Yeah, yeah,
If there was a company that would like a job that would fill exactly what I'm doing, I would probably get it. It would be so much
hmm,
easier, because then you
yeah,
show up and you do what you do.
yeah, right. And then it's a
So,
it's a playful chance to work with like community and teams and
yeah.
communication, and
Whereas
it's
when
like
you
its
do it
own
on your
place of healing.
own,
Yeah,
you have to do so much more than just do what you do.
yeah, right. It's so true. Yeah,
It's a whole thing before hire people that can help you. You have to do it all yourself.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's where it seems like it's helpful if you even just have a passion for entrepreneurialism, right? If you're going to do it, like it's nice if that's part of the passion, not just you're doing it because you should, right? Because it's its own avocation, or right, where it just
Yeah.
yeah, it has it's yeah. So that's, I'm
And
sure, yeah, you that part of
and I
what you
think now there's so much more opportunity. If you're not happy to find another career with a company that
yeah,
you can be happy with, there's so
yeah,
many new things coming
yes,
up,
right,
old ones that are willing to now change. Like
yeah,
you
right,
can tap into your passion and go and start a new career, or within your career, bridge it into something that is going to light you up again, because anything is possible.
yes. And that's where it's probably important for us to be open to allowing a vision that maybe we've never seen before, if we do kind of feel like, I don't want to be an entrepreneur, I would like to work for someone else, but I've never seen the kind of job I'd like to have, right? And so how can I even dream of that? But to be in that possibility and then to kind of allow it in, do you still, I feel like you also talk about how it's about also allowing the universe to kind of delight and surprise us, or we rendezvous with these things we didn't, couldn't have
I
even
like that
imagined.
you say that the universe is gonna like bring stuff to you, but it will not
Uh-huh.
bring it to you unless you take some action.
Yeah, right. That's the
And the
thing.
action can
You
be
can't
just,
just dream it. You
no,
can't
you
just
can't.
dream it.
No, you can't
Ooh,
just
that's
dream
so
it.
important from the dream life formula person
Yeah, it's
is,
you
but
can
you
dream all
can't
you
just
want,
dream it.
but without the action, it's not just
Wow,
gonna
that's a big part
magically.
of the formula. The
Yeah,
formula is you can't just dream. You got to have
you can't
action.
just dream.
Wow.
Your dream life comes with your inspired action.
Ah,
Yeah,
that's such an like big quote right there.
yeah.
Your dream
And
life
I mean,
comes
it could
from
be
your
even
inspired
like
action.
playing around and looking at different industries, looking at different jobs, finding the words of the things that you're good at and going on Career Builder or whatever other, I don't know what new things are out there. That was, I guess, maybe old news. I don't
Like,
know.
yeah, Indeed, I think is one.
Whatever,
Yeah,
whatever, wherever you go to look for the jobs, type
yeah,
in the words of the things that you're good at.
yeah. Right, right. And
And maybe
dream that there might be a connection and it could be beautiful to work for someone else, and that there
it's
might be
not,
some opportunities
doesn't
you've
have to
never
be a
seen.
bad
There are
thing.
opportunities we've never
Yeah,
seen
I
before,
feel like so
100%.
many people now are just jumping ship and they're like, oh my God, I'm gonna like start my own thing and
Yeah,
jump the ship. But sometimes the grass is not greener on the other side. Not
yeah.
everybody's meant to be doing like their own thing. And I wouldn't want people to feel like they cannot live their purpose working and
Yes.
uplifting someone else.
I so appreciate that you brought that up. I think that's so important because I think that started to become like the
It's like, oh, you need a
underlying
job.
indication is like, is living your purpose always means doing it on your own. And no, and
No.
especially like you said, right now more than ever, again, because of the pandemic changes and everything, and just consciousness changes, and that there are just already opportunities we've never dreamed of. So we can dream that we could live our purpose through even a job, right? With someone else and the things
Most
that
definitely.
yeah, that's
It's
such a nice,
totally
fresh
possible.
message. And that could feel
Um,
beautiful. I have this kitten
this
here. Sorry,
kitty,
she wanted to be part of the video. She insisted. I think
such,
I'll have to lock her out for the next one. But
no,
well,
she's like a cute
and
little
gosh,
ornament.
I know she liked cuddling in with us. Well, I knew we'd have no trouble filling like
Of
45 minutes or so. But of course, anything else you want to say, and then please let's hear about what you're currently offering and how we can be a part of that and keep following you.
Well, the reminder is that anything is possible.
Mm,
Just be mindful of what you're focusing on, because what you focus on the most is what you attract and create.
yeah.
What I'm offering now, I have my pilot program of the 5 day
Mm,
experience coming up. I'm not sure when this is going to come out, but
okay.
November 8th through the 12th. And you can register through my website. I can give you the link. And then I am going to be doing another one in December. And
Yeah,
this
this
is,
should be available by tomorrow. Yeah.
oh,
I
then
mean, I'll
yeah,
be eager to
definitely
get it
join
right
us.
out. And that, yeah, especially with the timing of you having something. So
We're going to
yeah, it's
get
November. Yes.
clear.
No.
We're going to
Mm-hmm.
get clear on your one desire. And I'm going to help you that within the group with for everyone, as I'm going to be doing that energy subconscious clearings.
Mm,
Then we're going to create a powerful vision around that desire that you're clear and excited about. And we're going
mm.
to get aware of the mindset and the inner dialogue that we have and shift the sabotage into support.
Ooh, yeah.
And
Nice.
then
Sabotage
recognize the
support.
small actions that you can take every day to set it into motion and
Mm,
find the action step that you can take right now. That could be micro thing, like
mm,
my just
mm.
get out the door and run one lap, like something easy that
Yeah.
you can do now and actually doing it. So within the 5 days, you go from being clear, setting it and moving it into motion and actually anchoring it in, because
Yeah.
throughout the whole time, I'm going to continue to use other fun things and techniques to get deeper into the blocks and clear them out. This is like work, not work. It's going to be fun, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, but it's going to be pretty, it's like an experiment that within
Mm.
5 days that can take place. And it will. I
Mm.
know it. I have no doubt because my
And
divine parents told me so, and they're in charge. So
yeah. Yeah. And it just does feel like with the timing of, yeah, where we're at collectively, that it makes sense that you were divinely guided to bring this kind of thing through. So, okay. And then so people to go to like the Dream Life formula on your website and your
and I'll
social
share the
media.
link. I'll
Okay.
share the link with you to the.
Yes, yes. Give me the link and then I can put it the places that I promote the podcast and such. So gosh, well, thank you so much. This was exactly what I needed. And I just feel like, yeah, there's some I knew that you're always like on to fresh understandings. And it does, I love how it's so resonant with where we're at collectively. And it really makes sense that now more than ever is a powerful time to use our focus and dream, but know that the action is
Yes, the secret
so
sauce is the action.
yeah, but inspired action and
Inspired.
coming from a more clear vision of what we really desire. Yeah, which I love that you're helping us.
Action is just the spice to the formula, but
yes, it makes more sense to me now more than ever why you have that word formula in your in your description and business and branding. So thank you so much, Veronica.
Thank
Amazing
you.
as ever. And yeah, I'll look forward to being in touch and yeah, following and getting involved with this program. It seems like exactly what I would need. So I'm going to look
it's free. It's free.
Okay. So no excuses for any of us. And it starts, you said November 11th?
Monday.
Is that right?
November 8th.
November 8th through 11th.
Next Monday.
Okay. Starts on Monday. Okay.
Monday.
Amazing.
Monday
Okay,
through
for
Friday.
sure. I'm definitely doing this. And it's going to be Zoom based. Is that
It's
how
Zoom
it
and
is?
Facebook. There's going to be a special Facebook group, a pop-up group that will be in there, and you can participate from the Facebook or through Zoom. Choices, right?
Okay. Awesome. Okay. Well, I'll definitely
Thank
see
you
you
so
there.
much.
I'm looking forward to telling some friends too through more than just this. So
Thank you.
all right. Thanks,
As always.
Veronica. Have a
Thanks,
great day out
everyone.
there. Talk to you all